What's going on, everyone? Chef Luke back with the first YouTube beat tutorial on Logic Pro X. Pretty excited to bring this episode today. Let's get right into the beat. Alright, we're going to start by loading up our ghost notes. I'll make another tutorial on how to make these ghost notes. This video is going to be a little longer just because it's my first one and I'm getting the hang of how to recording it on my computer because I'm so used to making my cooking videos. Shout out to my cooking channel, Chef Luke. Go check that out. I'll put the link in the description. That's my main account, but this is my new one. I'm going to start this video off by loading up Complete Control. Complete 13. I just got the new bundle from Native Instruments for Christmas. It's pretty sweet, has its hell of a ton of sounds. And we're going to load up Cloud Supply because that's a trap style VST. I'm just going to look through some presets, see which one I like the best. Our bass note is going to be on C minor. I think, yeah, our key is C harmonic minor for this, so with the ghost notes, you're just going to follow the blue, ghost notes, follow the pattern. Pretty much anything in the blue will sound good together, because it's all on key. I'm going to time-lapse this part for you guys, so the video's not too long. Alright, we got our little first melody down. We're going to start by EQing that sound. I took out a lot of the low end so I can save room for the 808s and the kicks. I took a lot of low to the top end just to clean up the sound a little bit. It was a little sharp, so. We're going to add some wider by Polyverse. Wider, well, it widens the sound. It's like a one button click kind of plug-in. It's also free, so definitely go get that. I'm going to lay down some chords with another Cloud Supply. Maybe I might find a piano though. I think a piano might go well with this. There's a lot of reverb on the Cloud Supply sounds. I think you can adjust it, but I'm still learning how to use it correctly. So I want to go for a Noir piano. See what they have. Complete 13 has some really good pianos you can use. So So you're gonna highlight all your tracks with the ghost notes, and it'll put the ghost notes behind, so you can lay down your chords. We're gonna start on the root note of C because we're in C harmonic minor. And what you're gonna want to do is you want to skip one of the blue lines every time you go up to make a chord. You don't have to, but like that's what I'd suggest if you don't have music theory skills like me. But just whatever sounds good to you, it's just fine. So we're going to throw together some chords here. I'll time-lapse that as well. So we'll be back when the chords are done. So I ended up changing the piano to like a more radio-sounding piano. We EQ'd it. Cut out the lows and some of the highs. Now I'm looking for like a pluck or like a flute, something with some ear candy in the background. Actually, some violins would sound great. So we're just going to lay the violins on the root with the bass notes of each chord. I'll time-lapse that as well. We are going to add some RC20 to the violin to give it a little wobble and a little grit. We might adjust the octave of the notes as well. I don't really like the first sound we came up with. I don't think it matches what we're doing, so I'm going to look like a pluck, see what happens. Oh, okay, that one's like perfect. What I was looking for. Might lower the octave. Add some ROM reverb to it. That's also part of the Complete 13 bundle. It's a Native Instruments reverb plugin. The bell or the pluck is a little too high, I think, so we're gonna shift it up an octave or down an octave. First, we're gonna try up, shift it down, and in order to do that, you got to do Command A on the MIDI track, and then you got to do Option Shift and then down or up with the arrows, depending on which way you want to go with it. I think we're gonna go down to make it sound like the pluck, sound clean, and so each note plays correctly. You're gonna load up. Let's see what do we need here. First, I gotta rename the tracks just so I know which one's which. Always name your tracks. I forgot to do that earlier. We're gonna find a 808 in our sound library. In order to open up your sound library, just click F on your keyboard and it should just do it. Or you can go to the top right, but F's a little easier. Now we just gotta find the sound that we want. I'm gonna time lapse this too so we can find the sound quicker. Alright, first, it says our 808's in tune, but I just want to make sure. We want it in C. And I will be making another tutorial on how to do that, just not on this one. I'm just focusing on making the trap beat, but that will come soon because it's always important to know how to tune your 808s. That's what carries your trap beat. time lapse this as well, see if I can come up with something quick. Alright, I didn't like the first melody I came up with, or the bass notes, so I followed the root note or the bass notes of the chords I put down. That's always just an easy trick if you can't figure out a good pattern with your 808s. And then I pulled up the drive a little bit in the quick sampler, the quick sampler. This is sounding pretty dark, I like it. We're gonna bring in our Murda drum kit. I got this from Splice. They have a Murda Beats sound pack. Go check it out, definitely, it's really good. Get that nice trap clap in there. Give it the bounce. We're gonna make some kicks here. We're just going to follow our 808 pattern. Sorry for the squeaky chair. Just put it on your kick root note so it's like as loud as possible when you have the kick on, and then we're going to turn up the velocity to the max. It's going to give that powerful punch to your 808. And then on our 808 track, we're gonna add we're gonna go to dynamics and then add a compressor. And then you go up to the top right, and you're gonna want to go to instrument, and then you pick your kick, your kick, and you sidechain it to that. And it blends the kick to the 808, so when the 808 hits, the kick like stops it, and I don't know, it just punches through a little harder. It's like my #1 tip with 808s and kicks. We're gonna add a hi-hat pattern. You're gonna want to get your brush tool out. That's my pencil tool. Switch to your brush. You can just do that. You want to turn it on to 8th notes for trap usually. I mean, you can do 16th, but I prefer an 8th. Slows the beat down. 16th can be a little too fast sometimes, but it just depends on the beat you're making. We're just getting the notes down here so we can get just started on the hi-hats. This is definitely not what we're staying with here though. It's going to be a little change. See how boring that is right now? It's pretty just basic. So what we're going to do, we're going to hit shift on our keyboard, and then we're going to click every other note. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to turn down the velocity of every other note so it creates a little bounce in the rhythm of the beat. If you have headphones, you'll definitely be able to hear it. Definitely creates a little more bounce. But we're not just done there. We're going to add some rolls. We're going to start with a 30-second roll. Zoom in a little bit so you can see where you're placing them like I did not do right there. We're going to go down a couple semitones. Give it that darker feel. And then we're going to take out a couple notes at the end to make a little pause. Take out 3 notes. And then we're going to add a 16th note at the end to give a little roll before it hits the drop. And then pretty much all we do from there is just erase that second half and copy the rest over. Pretty basic. This is just a simple trap beat just to get the hang of it if you haven't made one before. It's pretty pretty dark too. I like it. It's bouncing. I turned up the tempo a little bit. It was a little slow and kind of getting old. I think I need a little boost of energy. We're gonna add our open hats. We're gonna open up a MIDI region. First, we're gonna layer a snare to the clap so it hits harder. Now we're gonna add our reversed open hat. I usually start with one at the beginning, and I like to turn down the velocity because usually, in my opinion, open hats hit kind of hard sometimes, and they kind of hurt your ears. Definitely mess with the semitones with the open hat too. It gives it a lot of character, I think. Got a good bounce going now with the drums. Add our perk. I also like turning the velocity down to my perk sometimes, depending on the perk, especially this one because it's kind of a lot. Okay. Beat sounded pretty good. Alright, we loaded up some arcade vocals, the hook vocals. I like these a lot, and they bounce a lot with your track if you find the right kit. I'll show you how I like to lay them out with my chat beats. I like them in my R&B style stuff too. But with the arcade vocals, you don't want them like sticking out an insane amount. You want them kind of just in the background, just adding a little character and a little ear candy to your beat. I'm just gonna find the starting sound I like, and then every bar I'm gonna drag it out to every bar each sound. So I'm gonna have 4. Just watch, it's gonna go really well with like the 808 and the kick. If I can figure this out, Jesus. We're gonna end up EQing this as well to make it more of a background sound than that instrument, you know. Just hold on, you'll see what I mean. I think that's it right there. That's the thing we're going with. Turn down. Mess with the octave. I think the higher octave might be the better one. Yeah, I like that. I like the hype. I'm gonna put a little delay on it, a little more reverb, and then I'm gonna add the little distortion effect. Add a little movement to the voices. Then we're gonna find the EQ, and we're just gonna cut a lot of the lows and the highs. Give it like the telephone effect a little bit. Oh shoot, I messed up my EQ. EQ it. So it's a lot more distance. I think we're gonna may turn it down a little bit too. Okay, now we're gonna get ready to arrange the beat, I think. Alright, the beat's arranged. Let's give it a listen. I added a couple things and I took out some things. On this part, we layered the arcade vocals. So we brought so we had it up an octave originally. We brought it back to the bass octave, and we dropped it down one more. So it adds like a cool layering effect where it's like you can hear the low and the high and the middle. It's pretty cool. We sit in that one part, not to oversaturate the track though. And then we added a riser that's coming up again soon. This is a really basic arrangement. It's not mixed at all either. It's just this one you guys to hear what it sounded like after. Here comes the riser and the drop. Makes it hit a lot harder with that riser, right? Well, if you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment on what you guys liked about the video, what you want to see. I'm just going to be doing Logic tutorials, and I know there's not a lot of Logic tutorials out there, so this is why I'm doing it. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you.